So good morning again, or good afternoon, good evening. We're going to get acquainted with the other menu tabs, but first of all, just a quick summary for the first video. So we get acquainted with the menu tabs we are going to work. Also, we added the developer menu, and we talked about fonts, paragraph, and styles. The final thing that I'm going to show you in the home tab, it is format painter. So let's imagine that we are going to use the bold typeface or полужирное начертание for the first sentence in our first paragraph, and also we are going to add some color on the base of it. Let it be some blue one. So this is it. For example, I may have a villain to have the same formatting for the other sentence in the other paragraph. So I'm just going to use Format Painter. I selected the text, then I click Format Painter, and then I just choose the whole paragraph, for example. We could see that now it is in bold typeface, and also it has the background color. The other option to make it, to do it, so let's change something else. Let's use underlining option and also italics, and then add some color too. Let it be green now. So I'm going to use the hotkey Shift, Ctrl and C, or Shift, Command and C if you work from Mac. It helps me to copy format and to paste format again. I suppose that all of you use Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V. It is all about copying and pasting the text, and Shift-Ctrl-C and Shift-Ctrl-V is all about copying and pasting the format of the text. Actually, it's one of the most helpful hotkeys in Word and PowerPoint. Just believe me, I use it most of the time. So now I select the text, all subjects are taught in English, and then press Shift-Ctrl-V. And now we could see that our formatting is the same. Well, let's go further. We are going to get acquainted with insert menu. So one of the things that we are going to get acquainted is just to how to paste page number. First of all, before you paste the page number, if you need to have the title page, you need to create it, because sometimes Word just have some problems, and if you do not have the title page in the beginning of working, it will have some mistakes in page numbering. So let's go further. Now we click to page number, then we are going to have it in the bottom of the page, in the right corner of our page. So let's go to plane number 3. So now we can see that we added the page number. But the problem is that we shouldn't have the page numbering on the first page, on the title page. So let's just press different first page. Now we can see that on the first page we do not have any page numbering, but on the second one, third one, and so on, we have it. Also, it's better to change the font type of the page numbers to the font that we are using. Well, now we use Calibri, but I have said that in most documents you use Times New Roman font, so let's just change it. Well, nothing happens. Let's try again. Well, now it is Times New Roman. So, as I suppose this is it for the insert menu. If you want to go away from the header or footer, you just click somewhere on the page, but not on the footer space or header space. Let's just click somewhere. So now this menu is closed. So as I suppose most of the other points in the insert menu are rather simple, so let's just go further. And now we are going to work with the layout menu. In Russian it will be maquette. So the most important things for the layout tab are here. They are page setup or параметры страницы. So first of all, we are going to work with margins. Margin stands for поля, so there's some space in the top, bottom, left and right sides of our paper. For example, we could use custom margins. Let's assume that I'm going to have just 1.5 centimeters here. Then I just can copy this number and paste it in all of the lines. So press OK, and now we have the different options. Let me show you. So I'm just going to undo the last action. So I use Ctrl plus Z, and then I use Ctrl Y in order to Ctrl Y, not Y, in order to do the last action. So now we can see that our margins are different. Moreover, we could use columns here. Column stands for the type of working with text, as you can see in some magazines and newspapers and something like this. And I have shown you breaks, so we will use page break. And also we are going to work with not line numbers, just a moment, but with hyphenation. Hyphenation, it is all about having the starting of the word on the previous line and the end of the word on the next line. So in English it works not so well because we have rather short words here, and so now we could see that there is no need to use this setting. But in Russian, sometimes you are going to use hyphenation in order to have автоматические переносы in the text. So it is rather helpful too. Well, as I suppose, the final thing that we are going to use sometimes, it is orientation. So we could change it to landscape, and now it will be horizontally oriented page. So let's go further. Now we are going to work with the reference menu. So it is all about creating table of contents, and also you're going to use footnotes. So footnotes are some information that will be in the footer of the page. Let's edit. For example, well, I don't know. Let's say that it's one of the most popular languages in the world. So footnotes are used for some additional information. You should not use references add references to the footnotes. They should be in the text. So for example, in the format, I don't know, Sergeyev 2013 or something like that. But if you have some additional information that supports the main text, you could add it into the footnotes. So now we are going further, and now we are going to get acquainted with review. Review tab is extremely helpful when you work for a long time with a text or work with your friends, for example. So let's assume that I'm working on the project on digital literacy, and I found some information, and now I'm not going to apply the right formatting for the references. So I've just add new comment, and then here I will add the link for the information in this sentence. Or I could just add the next comment, for example, check information or something like that. So if I'm not sure, or for example, change formatting. Then we are going just to work with these comments, and we could resolve these comments, for example. So it will be in the gray color. So we could see that it was resolved. And also we could reply to it. For example, we work with our friends, and we are going to give some extra comment. For example, no, not valid information. So it's the answer for our comment. And also we could just delete all of the comments, so try to check it when you send some documents to your lecturers, for example, or to your manager. You are just going to delete all of the comments. So we just press and click on the right button of the mouse and then delete comment. So this is it. This was one of the final menu we are going to get acquainted with, and also I'm going to show you two menus for the table. So we are going to insert menu and then we are going to create the table. The first option to create the table is just to draw it, or you could just press insert table and enter the amount of columns and rows that you're going to have, but I'm going just to draw it. And let's just add some numbers, so let it be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. It doesn't matter. So when we are in the table, we could see two menus: table design and layout, конструктор и макет таблицы. So what are we going to do? I suggest you not to use table styles, because most of the table styles in PowerPoint are awful. As I suppose one of the styles that could be used is just the second one, table grid light. What it helps us to do, it just make the grid lines or сетка or borders, границы in a gray color. Now we could just select the whole table. I made it just by click on the symbol with two arrows. And now we are going to change the pen color, for example, to the dark gray one. Then we are going to change the width for example, 1.5 points. And then we are going to add outside borders. And now we can see that our outside borders are in darker color and they are thicker than all of the inner border lines in our table. And sometimes we are going also to use the color, the background color for the first line. So we are going to use shading option, let it be blue again. And for example, we are going to use bold typeface, so I use just Ctrl and B. So now this table is much better than all of the standard table designs and points. And also we have layout here. For example, we could use distribute columns, so we could change the width of them, or we could merge some cells. For example, let's merge these cells, and also we could split some cell. Split cell stands for разделить ячейку, so let's assume that we are going to have 4 more columns here but just one row. So now we can see that we have several rows. So these points of menu help you to manage your table. And also we could delete some rows, delete columns, delete cells, delete table, and insert additional rows and additional columns too. Well, and the final scene is all about aligning the text in the table. When we work in the table, it's better not to use the alignment, not alignment but distribution or justifying option. So we are just going to use align center left in most of the cases, so it will be in the center if we take into account the up and bottom side, and also it will be on the left side, and this is one of the most frequently used option for aligning the text in tables. So as I suppose this is it, we have get acquainted with most of the menus of the Word that you're going to use rather frequently. So you should get acquainted with all of the functions. You could try to find them in your Word if you have Microsoft Word on your computer or laptop. And then we are going to have the second seminar on Friday connected with document formatting and checking document formatting as well. So thank you for watching the video again. I hope it was helpful. So bye and have a nice day.